welcome to the Front Office Podcast. The Front Office Podcast is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Family, welcome. Today is the 29th or the 30th? 29th, I think. The day after Championship Sunday reaction episode. I know it's a lot of shit to kind of cover. I'm going to try to cover it as quick as possible. I'm not going to, be on here for 30 minutes. So I thought it was a good weekend for football. Yesterday was eventful, to say the least. I think that would be the word I would use to describe it, is eventful. First game with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Lamar. Shit. It's not all of Lamar's fault. But the Ravens didn't play well. They end up losing to the Chiefs, I think 17-10. Offensively, they were just bad. I thought the Chiefs defense did a great job of having timely plays. The pick in the end zone was just a bad throw by Lamar, but the strip sack, the fumble recovery, that was huge. Zay Flowers with the fumble right there before he could have scored. That was big. Just, turnovers. We discussed it in the last episode. Turnovers are going to be a key in both games. Who could force them and who could take advantage of them, and the Chiefs did. Credit the Chiefs. Offensively, I just felt like that coordinator and Lamar just decided they wanted to prove that they were a better quarterback in the sense of a traditional quarterback throwing the ball. Because the rushing yards just wasn't there for Baltimore, and I thought that was one of their strengths all year, is being able to run the ball. Even with all the injuries they had in their backfield, running the ball was a huge advantage for them because they're a big physical team. And I thought they didn't make the Chiefs play defense in that regard. I thought they didn't make them play defense. I thought they didn't force them to put guys on the line to be able to create those big plays. And easier said than done. Of course, I'm a fan watching the game, but that's what I saw in the difference in that Baltimore team than the one that we saw last week. But as far as Lamar is concerned, he's going to get some of the blame. I mean, a lot of people are going to put it all on Lamar. It's not all on Lamar. He did have a bad game. He chose that. He didn't choose to, but he happened to have a bad game in the AFC Championship game, which I think that's his first time going to the AFC Championship game. I might be mistaken on that. I think he's 2-4 in the playoffs right now. And we just put a lot on one person. It's a lot. It's coaching staff. It's having a game plan together. Are your receivers making the plays? Do you fumble? Is the offensive line being successful? It's a lot that factors into how you perform offensively with a football team. So he's going to get some blame, rightfully so, but I don't think it was all on him. I still think he gets the MVP award. As far as on the Chiefs side, and one more thing on Baltimore, I thought their defense was great. You held that offense to 17 points and 0 points in the second half. They played great. They gave their offense a chance to win the game, and unfortunately the offense just didn't come through. So let's move on to the Chiefs. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes. Definitely, the loyal subscribers, the guys and ladies who actually watch and listen to what I'm saying, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes breaks everybody's heart. And, everybody, mostly it's not Mahomes. They just don't want to see Taylor Swift, which is crazy, but whatever. Y'all choice. I'm not about to let it bother me that much. They're definitely going to show her in the Super Bowl. So if you got a problem with them showing Taylor Swift, I got some news from you. Well, I got some advice for you. Just don't watch the Super Bowl. Don't watch it, because they're definitely going to show her a lot. Okay? A lot. When they show her and a play is going on and I miss the play, I'll feel some type of way. Until that happens, I'm cool. I'm straight. But back to Mahomes, man. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, hands down. I think everybody knew that. He didn't have a crazy day. I think he was 30 for 39. Let's see. Yeah, 30 for 39, 241, a touchdown, and no interception. No turnovers by the Chiefs as a whole. That's not a shot at Lamar, but that's just by the Chiefs as a whole. Their running backs didn't fumble. Nobody else fumbled. They didn't turn the ball over. So 17 points is a lot of points when you're not turning the ball over. he just made the plays that he needed to make. I thought Kelsey was dominant. Like, he was dominant in the first half. I think he had 100 yards and a touchdown in the first half. And I thought that set the tone. If you go back and look at all the scores, like, he pretty much had his imprint or his fingerprint on every score they had, as far as big drives, big catches, things like that. That's the one thing I would, if I had to criticize Baltimore's defense, they couldn't find a way to stop that. It's a lot of weapons out there. Patrick Mahomes is known for dropping back, and when nobody's open, he runs for 15, 20 yards, keeps a drive going. Those are drive killers. Those, I mean, not drive killers. I mean, as far as the defense, from the defensive standpoint, that's a drive killer. That's something that's going to have your defense a little bit deflated. They might not be playing as hard. They're a little bit more tired. So those are big plays. He's done it so many times. They're 4 out of the last 5 AFC championship games. The Kansas City Chiefs have been there. I picked the Chiefs. I picked the Ravens, unfortunately, in this game. So the Ravens kind of let me down, man. But honestly, I don't think Lamar has anything to hold his head about, or the Ravens in particular. Yeah, you missed an opportunity, but they're young. Their core is young. They got some great pieces over there. They'll be back. You just got to – I think it's building in stages, and sometimes we want the greatness right then and there. We want the greatness to happen as soon as the hype comes, and it's just stages to winning. Lamar's just going to have to go through those stages. I think he'll get one. I think they'll get better. They have a really good front office, and I think they'll be able to, bounce back and come back and have next year. The thing with football, though, is the injuries. The injuries can be brutal on a team, a really good team. I've seen teams that are supposed to win a Super Bowl just decimated by injury, and that takes a year away. So it's rare, but I think they're on the right track. I think Lamar will get one, man, just not this year. Next game. This is the better game. We thought it would be the better game. The Niners versus the Lions in San Francisco in the Bay. Lions fans are hurting this morning. They are hurting. They are not feeling any football talk, and I know exactly what they feel like. As a Minnesota Viking fan, watching Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game throw that interception in overtime and the Saints beat us and go and win the Super Bowl, that was tough. It was tough, man. It hurts. The Lions had complete control of this game in the first half. We're going to get to San Fran in a minute, and I got a lot of San Fran friends, and I know a lot of people who are Niners fans. So we're gonna get y'all flowers. I promise you. Just let's talk about Detroit for a second. Detroit dominated the Niners. I don't think they've been dominated like that since Baltimore beat them. And I think the Vikings beat them pretty handily on a Monday night game. But they dominated them, running the ball. Jared Goff was great. Playmakers. The Williams kid got the big reverse play for the touchdown to start the game off. Montgomery was tough. Their offensive line played really well. I think Jared Goff, for the most part, stayed pretty clean. No turnovers. They were up, I think, 24-7 at half. I think it was 24-7. You're not really supposed to lose that game. You're not really, and everybody wants to talk about Dan Campbell, and he should have went for it on fourth, or he shouldn't have went for it on fourth down. My thought process on him going for it on fourth is be who you are. A lot of us play Madden. Some people won't admit to it, but a lot of us play Madden. And if you're a guy who plays Madden and you never punt on fourth down, you always go for it, that's who you're going to be. No matter what the stakes is, no matter how much money y'all got on the game, whatever the case may be, you're going to be who you're going to be, and I respect that from Dan Campbell. The only part that I would disagree from with his decision-making or going for it on fourth is I believe when it's – what'd they lose? 31-34. They lost 31-34. They had a chance to tie it with a field goal, and he went for it. I understand his thinking. He's like, look, if I give them a chance, they're just going to bleed me out. But you got to believe in your defense. Your defense played well all day. They weren't terrible. They gave up some freak plays. The play to Ayuk, Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really blame the cornerback or he should have made the catch, but that was great coverage. It just happened to work out for him, and that's what happens in those type of games, in those moments. It's always a moment like that. I've been alive 43 years, been probably watching football for about 38. It's always a moment like that. It's always going to be a moment where somebody or some freak shit happens, and it's just who takes advantage of it. And Ayuk made a great play, and the stepping stone. The missing the fourth downs. The two times they did go for fourth down, they didn't really get it. They didn't get it. Reynolds had a drop on third and fourth down. That's a game changer. Jamar Gibbs. I'm okay with Campbell's decision, but I understand why he's gonna get criticized. That's all I'm pretty much trying to say. I understand with his decision. I do. I'm not gonna criticize him for that because his way of thinking and his approach to the game is what got him to that point. As a coach, there's only so much you can do. He can't make Buddy catch it on third down. You know what I mean? He can't make Buddy catch that catch on fourth down when he should have caught that ball. He can't, foresee or stop Jamar Gibbs from fumbling. You know what I mean? Like, those are big plays in the game that players have to make. And that's why I always say it's a team game. Everybody owns losses, and everybody should get credit for wins. We have a real bad habit of just, Tom Brady is the GOAT because he's got 6 Super Bowl wins, or he's won the Super Bowl 6 times. That's so inaccurate. The Patriots have won the Super Bowl. He was the quarterback, yes, but he didn't cover shit. He didn't make one tackle, none of that shit. You know what I mean? It's a team game. So it was a rough loss for them, man. It really was, but I think they'll be back. I hope they'll be back. I hope they're just as competitive next year because I think Minnesota's going to make a push, and Green Bay looks great. Like I said, they got a chance to have the best division in football next year if everybody can step it up, and hopefully Chicago makes the right decision and keeps Justin Fields. If they don't, they're just fucking idiots. But overall, the games I thought were competitive. The first one didn't go the way I thought, honestly. I really thought it would be more Baltimore dominating on the offensive side and that defense being able to come downhill on Patrick Mahomes. But shout out to my homeboy, man. I used to call Tom, we used to all call Tom Brady Captain America. I think we got a new Captain America, and I think his name is Patrick Mahomes. See, I mean, boy, he's just sturdy, man. He knows what to do. That's crazy. That's crazy. I completely forgot to go over the 49ers. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so the 49ers real quick. Even though Detroit gave y'all the game, I don't mean that as a diss or a disrespect. I mean that in the sense of they gave it to y'all, but y'all still had to take it. Y'all still had to Ayuk still had to make that catch. You know what I mean? The lineman who caused the fumble, he still had to play football and cause that fumble and get the recovery. So, that's a credit to their staff staying ready. I thought Debo was really good. I thought Brock Purdy, I tend to agree. I saw a little bit of First Take this morning. I came in front because I couldn't record early enough. But I kind of agree with Shannon Sharp. He has silenced some critics, but if you go out there and you lose, they're still going to call you a game manager. Now, if he beats Patrick Mahomes, this is the unfair shit about how things are viewed. If he wins, they probably won't put him in the game manager category, okay? No matter what happens. If he wins, they probably won't put him in the game manager category. He's going to be mentioned with some of the top quarterbacks. If he loses, they're definitely going to call him a game manager. But this is the unfair part to Purdy. He's going against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not like he's going against a team that's not supposed to be there or a team that we didn't think was going to be there. This is a team that's been in the Super Bowl at least 3 out of the last 5 years. So, it's unfair, but that's just the way things are judged. But the Niners, I thought their defense is just what I said it is. That secondary is suspect, but I think they found a way to make timely plays. Fred Warner and those guys were really great in the second half. And Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. I'm definitely a believer in who he is, man. He makes big plays. He runs the ball hard. That's a tough white boy. That's a tough-ass white boy, man. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey. He's He's solid. He's definitely top tier back in the league, and I think he's going to be that way. I think he's worth every penny that they paid him as far as that money is concerned. So that's it for today's show. I'm definitely going to do a Super Bowl edition. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. You know, it's a lot leading up to the Super Bowl. We got a lot of kind of downtime, man. So I appreciate y'all checking in. All the new subscribers, welcome. Make sure you like, share, comment if you got any disagreements with what I said. Shout out to the Niners and the Chiefs. I'm out. Peace. The Front Office Podcast is brought to you by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business.